tell us about why you decided to become a full-time VAR operator?
Yeah, so the introduction of VAR came at a good time for myself personally. I sustained an injury a couple of years ago, which I tried to come back from, and just was struggling with fitness, to be honest with you. The introduction came about maybe 18 months ago for VAR. We started training for it, and then it came in last October, which was great. I covered 20 matches last year, and then was offered the opportunity to become full-time in the VAR centre on a Saturday or Sunday, and grasped it with two hands. So no, looking forward to it. As I said, I think the more games we've done, the more confidence you build up. So it's exciting times.
You're going to miss out in the stadiums on Saturday?
100%. You know, you miss the crowd, you miss the atmosphere, you miss the camaraderie with the players. Definitely. I think to stop refereeing altogether and walk away from it would have been a disaster for me. So to be given this opportunity to remain at the top level and still socialise, mix with my colleagues and be involved is great. So no, it's like I say, it came at a very good time. And
it might sound obvious, but you know, for the fans who are going to be watching and listening, this in terms of the equipment you're working with, just how much is that familiarity key to keep up to speed and make sure that you're getting the right decisions? How crucial is it that you are in here all the time working on this sort of stuff?
Yeah, listen, I think it's a massive bonus to be using it week in, week out. As I think Crawford said previously, like driving a car, when you get your licence, the more you do it, the more confidence you get. It's like refereeing. If you referee, and you go for a 2-week holiday with the family, when you come back, your first game back, to get your eye back in takes a bit of time. And the VAR centre is no different. I think the officials were saying last year, to be out the VAR centre for 3 and 4 weeks, then to come back in, it was taking a wee bit of time. So from my point of view, and from there's another full-time VAR and then some assistant VARs as well, to be doing it week in, week out will be a massive bonus, 100%.
You talk about missing the crowd, the atmosphere, but that's what you used to do. You've refereed so many games. Do you feel that there's more pressure on you in here, in the studio, away from everyone?
The referees will disagree with this probably on the field, but I do, because you can be forgiven for making a mistake on the pitch, because mistakes happen. Players make mistakes, goalkeepers, strikers, managers make mistakes, but when you've got 6 screens in front of you, a slow motion replay and still images, then there's not going to be a lot of forgiveness if you get it wrong. So it's a different type of pressure. You still leave here on a Saturday or a Sunday exhausted, I'll be honest with you. I've seen me leaving the VAR station sweating, because you want to make sure everything's correct. For 90 minutes or 90 plus minutes, total concentration is required. So yeah, same level of pressure, different probably, but I think, like I say, there's less forgiveness in here than there is on the field of play.
Can it almost be more rewarding, because not only is there more pressure and you're able to deal with that, but also the fact that you're in here with the 6 screens, you're making sure that every single decision is correct, whereas previously as a referee you may get 1 or 2 wrong at the stadium if there's no VAR, whereas here you're making sure that it's not going to affect the game negatively at all, any decisions.
Yeah, it's a great safety net. I would love to have VAR when I refereed, when I look back at some of my decisions. I'll say that before anyone else does. And I think when you leave the stadium, if you can leave the stadium knowing everything's correct and we've not had an outcome in the game, that's the main thing. In an ideal world, you sit at your match station on a Saturday or Sunday or Friday or whenever it is, and you're not involved, because it means that everything's correct on the pitch. But to be able to be the eye in the sky, to come in and talk to one of your colleagues and your friends, to say, listen, have another look at this, and he comes over or she comes over, makes a decision, and then they leave the stadium without having an outcome to affect the match, you've allowed the match to be finished correctly, then it's a no-brainer from that point of view. So it's a very, very positive thing.
Were you nervous coming in to do the VAR as you were in your first games, actually going out onto the pitch?
I was probably more nervous coming out to do my first game as VAR, if I'm being honest, because when you're refereeing, you come up through the ranks of the kids' games, amateurs, juniors, up into the lower leagues and then into the Premier League, so you're used to it. When we came in here to do the first VAR game in the Premier League in October, it was brand new. We had done offline matches, but it was new and it was untested, to be honest with you. So I was probably more nervous sitting in front of the monitor than what I was refereeing. Refereeing, you can run away from the players. In here you can't run away.